It's early signing day, guys. What is up? It's Austin from Campus to Canton here. We are here to guide you through some of the signings here today. The early signing period has begun, has kicked off. A lot of big names choosing schools, none bigger, at least in my opinion, than Jaydon Blue himself, running back from Texas, from Klein Kane High School there, 5'11 and a half, 205 pounds. You may know him beyond me talking about him across the spectrum of shows here at campuscant.com, because he is the first major high school recruit to opt out of their senior year of high school. He decided that he had got his offer from Texas. They assured him that he was good to go, and so he did not play this year to preserve himself for college. Rankings, guys. Let's talk a little bit about where Jaydon Blue is ranked. Overall, guys, in the composite, he is running back 14. ESPN has him as RB25, Rivals RB18, 24/7 has him as their fourth rated running back. On3 has him at 13. So some differentiation across the board there. He is my RB1. He is our our composite RB1 here at campuscant.com. Just want to give you a little profile here so you know what you're getting into as you start drafting here for your freshman and supplemental drafts here throughout the spring. So Jaydon Blue, guys, he is just an extremely patient running back. One of the best running backs in terms of vision, in terms of feel for the game that I have ever seen coming out of high school. I think that's lofty praise, but I don't think it's false praise. I think it's 100% true. He can set up blocks on the second and third levels beyond the line of scrimmage, which I think is a very advanced skill for his age, something you do not see a lot of kids doing straight out of high school. Beyond the vision and kind of those intangible things as a runner, though, guys, he is an extremely good athlete. He has a sub 11 verified 100-meter dash. It translates to right around a 4.540, and certainly can probably improve upon that a little bit as he makes his way through a college strength and conditioning program. Beyond that, though, I mean, I think he's also physically, he's got very good burst, a nice first step there. He's got really nice size there at 205, so barely has to bulk up at all and still maintain that high-end athletic ability for the position. And he's also a very good pass catching back, guys. One of the best here in the class. If you go watch some of his junior tape, because obviously no senior stuff available, has multiple catches that would be great for an NFL running back. Truly, he is very natural in that regard. So I think he certainly has a 3-down skill set. Now, how does he fit in at Texas is kind of the $1 million question, because these guys can have all the talent in the world, but if they're not going to play for a couple of years, or maybe the coaching staff is not known for developing a certain position, we get a little bit scared away. Fear not for Jaydon Blue, guys. He's going to that Sark offense there. Sark, Steve Sarkisian, head coach there at Texas, is known for getting the most out of some of these running backs, was at Alabama and helped develop Najee Harris there. Famously has gotten Bijan Robinson here ready for the draft as well. Through 2 years, Bijan had bell cow usage last year, averaged over 20 touches a game, had almost 30 receptions, probably would have if he did not miss the final 2 games of the season. So Blue figures to eventually feature in this offense, and it's kind of offense that can really show off what he has to do to help him secure top 50 or 60 draft capital when the NFL comes calling in 3 years. Now, it's unlikely that he's going to start at all or really be a startable back here as a true freshman next season. Bijan Robinson, the number 1 overall back in the 2023 class, has stated that he is returning for his 3rd junior season there after having the season-ending elbow injury at the end of last season. There's not a lot behind Bijan, though, that should scare off Jaydon Blue drafters, guys. Roshan Johnson, the guy that stepped in for Bijan after he went down last year. He's a former quarterback, worked mostly as the goal line back, and again, filled in a little more with Bijan out, but he's not particularly dynamic, and I don't think there's a ton of upside there for him as the feature back in an offense. After Roshan, they have Keelan Robinson, the transfer from Alabama. He's more of a 3rd down back, not going to take a ton of touches away from a feature back there. And then Jonathan Brooks was a low 4-star in last year's class. He had 21 carries as a true freshman. He's not chopped liver by any stretch of the imagination, but not a stud either. And again, not the kind of kid that would keep Jaydon Blue off the field. There are a couple scenarios that I can foresee to see Jaydon Blue get some touches next year, guys. First off, if they end up using a little bit more of a three back rotation, this year was mostly two backs. I think that he can certainly be that third back early in the season, get a handful of touches maybe per game. Beyond that, if Bijan Robinson either gets injured again or opts out, I think that opens up a huge window, depending on at what point in the season that would be, for Jaydon Blue to come in and kind of take that job. So while I think it's unlikely that he is a feature back next year, it's not out of the question. And I think once 2023 rolls around, you're looking at the lead back in a Steve Sarkisian offense. It's like a Lincoln Riley quarterback. That's a guy that you want to have on your roster. So I am going to be drafting Jaydon Blue very early this offseason in my supplemental drafts and freshman drafts. And in any startups I do as well. I think he's going to be a top 36 pick across the board there. He is certainly, I think, has the potential to be in the Bijan, Travion Henderson type class. And for those reasons, guys, I am highly, highly recommending Bijan Robinson here, who again is signing today for Texas. I highly recommend that you take a serious look at him here in your supplemental drafts.